unsung hero is really referring to mom.
Yep. The glue of the family was Helen, the mother. And she was this one where, while her husband was off chasing kind of grandeur, she was the one that held this family together. She was the glue. And then at the end, he realized the treasure that he had in his wife, fighting for the family, and that became the dream.
Yeah. And the kids, for that matter.
Yeah.
Because the oldest was Rebecca St. James.
Rebecca St. James. A lot of people don't know that. Rebecca St. James was just, I remember when I was in college, she was a force of nature.
Oh, yeah.
It was just amazing.
Christian artist that was on fire.
Yes.
Going, yeah.
And she just redefined what Christian music sounded like. So she was that round, and the whole time, her little brothers were helping out behind the scenes, and that became Joe and Luca for King and Country that are setting the world on fire now. So it's their whole family story. And Joel telling it and playing his father, when he came to me, he said, I want to do this movie. I was like, okay. He's like, I want to do it in the next 3 months. I was like, all right. He's like, I want to direct it. I was like, all right. And he said, I want to play my father. I was like, you're crazy. But you're crazy enough. I'll go with you.
Yeah, that's counseling therapy stuff right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, oh my goodness, wow. So, I know what Sharon and I walked away. We not only were entertained, we were inspired and reminded the power of the human spirit and the power of God showing up in the middle of a family and showing that he had a plan for them.
Yeah.
That's what we came away from the movie with. What are you guys hoping that the audience gets?
I think, right now the most rebellious thing we can do is tell stories of hope that lift up the family. I think the family has been so kind of pushed down by a lot of societal messages for so long that the idea of telling a story where the family gets to be the hero and keeping the family together, I think it's a rebellious story. And so I want to lift up the power of the family, the power of parents, the mother's influence on this family, and ultimately understanding that it's not about chasing the American dream, it's about chasing your family being the dream, and that's where you find the bigger purpose. And so it's one that I think really registers, reminding people of the importance of their family.
Yeah. It was interesting to me to be watching it and having been around Nashville all this time, and I knew who David Smallwood was, and I certainly knew who Rebecca St. James was. I didn't know the boy's story. I found that out a little bit later, but just because I'm an old guy. But I'm watching this thing and I'm going, I know these people. Wait a minute, because I didn't know who it was at the beginning of the movie. I had to get down into it before it clicked who I was actually. What the story was about.
I didn't set it up well, apparently.
No, you didn't need to set it up. You just sent me an email. It was fine. I wasn't complaining about it, but it was from somebody who's kind of. These guys they all live within 10 miles of here. You know, they're all right here in the neighborhood. So, and yet they're all world-class talents at what they do and fabulous people.
And you didn't even know that it was Joel playing his father.
No, I didn't until you and I had breakfast.
Yeah, we were having breakfast. You're like, who was it that played? That was Joel.
It's like Daniel Ramsey playing Dave.
Exactly.
Oh, that's just creepy.
I'm here to pitch you that story. That's next.
That'd be a short film. You don't do short films.
Well, you're doing something really cool, and for a limited time, our Ramsey listeners can go to this link, unsunghero.movie/Ramsey, and they can get free tickets.
Yeah, so so the exciting thing about it is this is really a grassroots story. And, it's so important opening weekend to have just a strong presence, because that's where, Hollywood doesn't ever see us coming. So what they predicted with I Can Only Imagine was it was just going to do a fraction of what it did. And they're like, what in the world happened?
Jesus Revolution.
Yeah, Jesus Revolution. Same thing. Like
Hollywood didn't know what to do with those numbers. Those numbers were amazing.
It was amazing to kind of watch. And so for this one, we had a group of businessmen, donors come along and say, we'll sponsor some tickets. So there's a donor that sponsored tickets specifically for your audience. I was saying today, while it lasts. As soon as the tickets are gone, they're gone. But for a limited time, if you go to that unsunghero.movie/Ramsey, it'll have information on how to reclaim the ticket codes for opening weekend. Take your family on us, and just for being a listener of the Ramsey
You
show.
can get up to 2 tickets, and the show times are between 4:24 and 4:28. check out. So that's really generous of you. Thank you for doing
excited.
it. Our listeners are really excited. I think they're a great target audience for this kind of movie. We're all about hope around here. I don't know if you've listened to the show for 3 seconds, but great crossover there.
So, talk about the cast. That was interesting. Obviously, Joe playing his dad, but there was some other issues.
Yeah, it was, as we did it, Joe really wanted to make sure the casting was authentic. And so he was really picky about who played his mom. I would be too. That's a tremendous responsibility. And he found this one actress in Australia that we knew through some friends, and he loved her body of work, named Daisy Betts. And she had taken 4 years off from acting to be one, and had gone into retirement. And he called her and talked her out of retirement. She absolutely steals the show. So she's amazing. And then we have some familiar faces like Candace Cameron Bure, and then Lucas Black, who's amazing. He's the only guy that has a thicker Southern accent than me and you. And he's amazing. They play this couple that really, from the church, that kind of...
He played in one of the other films.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of stuff. So he's been in the Fast Furious movie. He started